Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Series A, Dhamma Talk number 424. We are discussing under the main topic of having a good meditation or a bad meditation, good meditation session or bad meditation session. And then last week we dealt with things, environmental conditions which are conducive or not conducive to your meditation, and whenever one's come to experience a good and distinctive meditation, one should make a note and remember what kind of conditions are those and then apply them whenever necessary. That is the direct application. And at the same time, there are many different conditions other than those as well. The second one is based on your level of meditation insight, you can experience good meditation or bad meditation. Then you become a little more rounded to understand what your present moment meditation is related to, not finger pointing only one thing. And today we are going to give you another set of conditions which affects the good or bad meditation sessions. And in here, we need to understand the 4 types of yogis, 4 distinct types of yogis. One type of yogis are, they practice hard, and when they are practicing hard, they have very painful and difficult experiences. And at the same time, you have very little or very slow progress in the understanding of the Dhamma or experiential understanding of the Dhamma. When they meditate, they have a very difficult, painful experiences, and their growth of Dhamma is very small or hardly any. That's one type. And another type of yogis are, when they practice this Satipatthana Vipassana meditation, they have a very difficult time, painful sensation, but their progress and growth of Dhamma is fast, not slow. They experience Dhamma. And the third type of meditators are, when they meditate, they have a very easy time. Even you can say very pleasant, easy, pleasant, not difficult, not painful. But their growth and progress in Dhamma into the insight is slow or hardly any. That's the third type. And the fourth type is when one practices, they have a very easy, comfortable, pleasant experiences. In other words, meditation goes smoothly. And also their growth in the insights, progress in the Dhamma is very fast. See those four types. First one is they have difficulty. They have difficulty, you sit meditation. Difficulty means right away some people experience pains, all different kind of physical pains as well as mental pains within 2-3 minutes, and the whole hour is just that. And their growth and progress in Dhamma is slow. The second one is same thing, their experience are very difficult and painful, but their growth is in Dhamma is very fast. The third is easy, pleasant meditation sessions, but growth in Dhamma is slow. And the fourth is easy, pleasant meditation experience, but also the growth in Dhamma is quite fast. 4 types. These 4 types are just an indication of the experiences they have accumulated, in the past life, in the past periods. Not just one, not just two, many, many lives. Whatever type of experiences or whatever types of habits they have accumulated, frequently exposed. So those are the reflection that you are having right now here. So people with the first type, which one is very difficult, painful sensation, and the growths are very slow. These are the type of yogis in the past, they have no or hardly any practice in any type of meditation, whether samatha or vipassana. Especially samatha, when they don't have any practice of samatha, what happens is, that is a reflection that they have a lot of difficulty actually sitting down and doing meditation, these physical, painful sensation experience. That's one is, if one has practiced a lot of samatha meditation before, then they sit and they can be quite easily done. And also, as they have not done any type of vipassana meditation, their growth and progress in Dhamma is slow. So that is the reflection. They have hardly any experience. Neither samatha nor vipassana. And second type is, it's difficult and painful. Obviously, that means these people do not have any experience or practice of samatha in the previous life. But their growth in Dhamma is very fast. That means these people have practiced vipassana meditation in their past lives for quite some time. That's the indication of it. And the third one is, they have a very easy, even pleasant meditation. They sit in and quite easily can go in into ease. That is the reflection of one has practiced samatha meditation in previous lives many times. It's been exposed many times. But their growth is very slow. They can sit, they have a very good meditation session, concentration is good, but there's hardly any growth in the insight. They might be practicing for 5 years, 10 years, and hardly any growth in the progress of insight or Dhamma. That means they have no previous Vipassana meditation experiences. And the last one is quite obvious. They have a pleasant, easy meditation session that expresses their accumulative exposure to the samatha meditation, concentration meditation. And also their growth in Dhamma, growth in insight is very fast. They also have many time exposures in many past life to the Vipassana. So those are 4 types. These 4 types are all the reflection of the exposure or not having any exposure to concentration meditation or insight meditation in many lives before. 4 types of them. Some people in general, they call it parami. You have a parami or you don't have a parami. Okay, so parami covers a big spectrum. So we can specifically say whether you have exposures, frequency of exposures to samatha meditation or vipassana meditation for many past life before. So based on that, it changes, it differs. That's why you see some yogis, they can sit down and then they can easily sit down for hours and they have a good meditation, they have good concentration. But years after years after years, they do not have any progress in insight. And they might even say, well, maybe this method is not true, not correct. That kind of interpretation or perception can arise. So keep in mind, first and foremost, as there are 4 types, reflect yourself, reflect how you had practiced, how long you have practiced, and what kind of progress or not having a progress, what kind of difficulty or ease, what type of yogi am I? Okay. Nobody needs to tell you, you know yourself better than anybody. You don't have to have an ability to look at how many lives before I have, what are they, what was I doing. No, just exactly the product that you have right now is the effect. The causes are what you have done in many lifetimes before. The accumulations of habits. With that alone, you can tell. So once you know what type of yogis you are, okay, know that and then put that into the equation of you having a good meditation session or bad meditation session. In Satipatthana, Vipassana meditation, good meditation session is both the ease and the comfort as well as the progress of insight, both together. For samatha only it is simply you can meditate and you can be at ease and comfort and peace for a long time. That's the 2 different in nature. So with that 3 groups, one can actually see how you are having, why you are having, what is the control. The last one, the type of yogis, give you a big picture story. Big picture story. And once you know which category you belong to, you can frame up that picture. Okay, I'm in a picture of number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. That's one. And also, once you got into the picture, if you are a practicing yogin for quite some time, you have some growth in Dhamma. In other words, you have some insight experiences. Based on the experience and based on the level where you are, you can figure out whether you be in a good meditation zone or a bad experience meditation zone. And in this one, bad doesn't mean that you have a really bad in terms of experience and sensations, but actually it's the growth in Dhamma. And then finally, that is what you can do right now, right here. All the environmental conditions, space and times, temperature, pressure, humidity, people you associate, locations, facilities, all these things. These things you have to put into that equation. And when you put that whole thing into the big spectrum of this big picture, into every little piece and corner, then you know exactly how you can have a good meditation, how you can produce a good meditation, and what is happening and why is it happening. You have a clear understanding of the whole thing. In that way, one can understand where you are and why you are there and how to produce good meditation session. That covers the whole thing about good and bad meditation. So in here, if you look at it, the last one we discussed, difficult, painful meditation, no progress. Difficult, painful meditation, progress. Easy, comfortable meditation, no progress. Easy, comfortable, pleasant meditation with great progress. So in these four types, what is the most important part in this equation? The most important part in this equation is whether you are progressing or whether you are not progressing in Dhamma. That is the key thing. You might put, oh, no pain, or this, or that, or I have practiced before, I have not practiced before. But the focus should be on whether you have a good progress in Dhamma or not. That's the most important thing. Because you are practicing Satipatthana Vipassana to have a growth and progress in insight and in wisdom, Dhamma, wisdom. As it is progressing, then you have nothing to be concerned about. It's going as it should be. But there are also no progress. If you look in the four, two of them shows progress in growth of insight and Dhamma. Two of them does not show any growth or hardly any growth or progress of Dhamma. Those two are the ones that you need to be very careful. And you need to manage it. You need to be careful and you need to manage it. You cannot just say that, oh, this is my parami. What can I do? That's it. And you surrender. That is a wrong attitude. That's a fatalistic attitude. Everything is just dump it into the parami. I have parami, great. I don't have parami, what can I do? That kind of attitude, it's a fatalistic attitude. Whether you have parami or whether you don't have parami, doesn't matter. You are right here, right now, and you have an opportunity like anybody else. You have a comfortable life, relatively speaking, comfortable enough to be able to practice. And then you have a safe environment, and you have the environment where Dhamma is, and you have a teacher who can guide you, and especially nowadays, it's at your fingertip in the internet. You can pull out anything you wish. There's all these opportunities are in your hand, especially in a group of people who are together. And here are about 17 yogis here. They are, compared to the rest, practicing, relatively speaking, quite seriously, because they know or they sense or they feel this is the right path for you. This is the right practice. So opportunity is there. And in these 17 people, they might belong to one of the four. You could belong to the one very difficult, very painful, no progress. That doesn't mean that you surrender and you stop, or you pack and you go. No. You have a chance. At least intellectually you understand, to the best of your intelligence and analysis and logic, this makes sense. This produces good result. This definitely can, theoretically can produce good result. Once you have that kind of understanding and confidence, keep on doing. Don't expect any result. Don't surrender because it is difficult. Don't give up because it is so painful. Okay. Yes, I don't have any parami from the past, but right now I have a chance to make it a habit, to make it into parami. This is the first seed that I sow. That is the right attitude. So keep in mind, when opportunity is right in front of you, whether you take it or you don't take it, it's your choice. Okay? When you don't want to take it, you come up with many excuses. And when you want to take it, however big the difficulties are, you have the strength to overcome it. So eventually, it is your determination, your resolution, and your intensity to achieve or to attain that, how strong it is. That's the only difference. And that one is, nobody can tell you what to do. You have to decide yourself. You have to apply it. When you understand the whole picture, then it is for you to make a decision and to go or not to go. That is parami, and the important thing that we have to tackle if you are in a zone of the yogis where there is no progress in Dhamma. Those ones are more important. The other one is progressing, so they will be sailing on with the momentum. Okay, don't have to need a good push. But the two who has no progress, that's where you need a good push. Push does mean just put a whip on and just drive like a slave driver. That's not the way. In Buddhism, everything is about understanding. Information, education, and understanding. Information, education, and understanding. That's what Buddhism is about. So you need more information. You need more education. And you need a clear understanding of those things. You need more help if you fall into these two categories. So let's take the first one. The first one is one who has a difficulty, painful, and then you practice, you have no progress in Dhamma. So that can show a lot. Okay. Just let's take an example that all at hand, we all know. Okay. I've been teaching for 25 years, and every year I touches minimum of 100 to a maximum of 200 new yogis. Okay? They come and they go, they come and they go. Sometimes there are about 50, 55, that's the maximum class. Maximum class. And then at the end, maybe 2 or 3 left. That is just the beginner's class. And sometimes there are about 20, 25 at the end, a few. Sometimes there might be about 10. Sometimes at the end there will be could be 6. It's interesting. Sometimes there's hardly anybody, and sometimes there's very little group, but that group seems to gel, and they have a lot of people of the similar diligence. That is the little information I gather from these years. And out of that, let's say average, take about the lowest one, let's say 100. 10 years, 1,000. 20 years, 2,000. Okay, 25 years, 2,500. That's the lower bottom. The higher bottom will be 5,000. 25 to 5,000. Out of that, we have a group of people who are only about 17 in numbers. That's all that's left. So these people, they come in, they found pain difficult. Okay. They don't like to sit on the floor. They want to lean their back on the walls and this and that. Okay. At the beginning, I was a lot stricter. Now I just relax and then let them do their comfort, and especially at the beginner session and so on. So what happened was, the point I'm making is this: you sit down, this painful sensation, aches and pains and numbness and tingling and back pain, neck pain, knees pain, and so on and so forth. Some people are really painful. Some people are not that painful, but they are so much used to the comfort, that little pain they don't even want to bear, and in their mind that little pain is a big pain. So mostly they come, they study and gone. They come, they study and gone. Not many left. But those who have left carry on. So this group, they don't have no exposure or very little exposure to samatha or vipassana in their past lives. They come in. But be aware that they have the same access as you do at the beginning. We all have the same access. Okay? At the beginning, and especially the first 15 years, I didn't take a penny from anybody. Everything is subsidized by me. Don't even accept a donation till the society is formed. They don't have to pay, but still, they don't. Carry on. Everybody have the same access. Everybody have the same opportunity, but a few perseveres. That few persevere, and some people, they sit. Okay? We all know about this pain. Okay? Back pain, neck pain, knee pain, every discomfort. You can't even properly sit, and so on and so forth. These pains come in. And then some people, they tough it out. They tough it out and they practice, and they tough it out and practice. Some people actually went on for about 6 months or 8 months. But they are expecting some result. They are expecting some result. And no results came. So finally, they go away, and they keep on searching some other things or doing some other things. So that is the reality, okay, based on the accurate samples. I'm talking based on the accurate samples of this 25 years. But there are some yogis, they are there. One yogi, for about 15 years, all that what it is you sit down and you practice. It's nothing but within a minute or two, pain, 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 pain. You can't. After 15 years, it is really tough to see. Can't do anything. Okay, everything struggle is only pain. And after 15 years, didn't give up. They keep on practicing, and then starting to experience some Dhamma. When it's starting to get experience some Dhamma, then there's a note written, or more like a journal written. See, seems like at the beginning it was really exciting, and then finally keep on doing, but it's more like a routine, but giving up hope. And then when you experience Dhamma, it said, I have regained my confidence in it. That was about 15 years. And then it just struggled on. And it took about over 20 years. It took over 20 years to be able to sit with a certain degree of stillness. Not total stillness, but still there's a difficulty in it. And little bit and little bit and little bit of Dhamma experience pops up. Okay? So if you put that yogi into a context of this thing, this yogi has no experience at all in samatha or vipassana in the past life. This is the first time. And in the first time too, it could easily be gone with the rest of the 2,000, 3,000 yogis. But that persistent with patience keeps on. It takes about over 20 years to experience a little bit of Dhamma, to be able to tolerate that pain and keep on going. So that's what it means by don't just blame it and dump it into I have no parami. Even though you might not have any parami, okay, this is the first time and first place to start. And if you do start, you will do experience. No work is being wasted. There will be some result. So this is painful. You sit down, there's a lot of pain, aches and pains and tingling and so on and so forth. We don't have to tell in detail because we all know how it is. And whenever there is a pain, what happens? Whenever there's a pain, you don't like the pain. You hate the pain, you have aversion to the pain. Sometimes to the point of actually hate it. Oh, I hate it. Even you might cast it. Okay. Sometimes what happened was, oh, when would it go away? You don't just curse it, you don't just fight it, you just say, when? It's all the time, the pain is there. When will it go away? Okay. What I'm doing with it, you're not really yelling and fighting and being angry, but sort of, but still disagreement, not liking. There is some sort or some form of dislike into that pain all the time. You can't deal with it. So whenever pain is there, okay, pain or suffering, whenever pain, this one is physical pain, which also produces the mental pain, mental anguish. There's a pain, there is that dislike, aversion towards it. Though dislike and aversion, or even hatred or angry, all these things, in one word, it is called dosa. In one word, it is called dosa. So every painful sensation, okay, it is said, anusaya. Anusaya means it's always go hand in hand with dosa. So you have this pain, you are meditating, you have this pain, you are dealing with this pain in many different ways, and very tough, and you don't like it, you want it to go away, you wish that it is gone and in peace. I want to be in meditation. Just wanting to be in peace, wanting to be in meditation, it's still a dosa. The dislike, it is expressing the dislike to that pain in a different way. It's always dosa. So whenever there's a pain, there's a dosa. One way or the other, highly intense dosa or very subtle form of dosa, but still there's a dosa, anger. And again, if you look at our meditation, what are we doing? What are we trying to uproot or abandon? We are trying to uproot or abandon kilesa, lobha, dosa, and moha. Okay? Greed, anger, and delusion, directly translated. But at the same time, you are meditating, and all the time is pain, 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 pain. And what are you doing? Every time there's a pain, there's a dosa. So you are sitting here, you are living with dosa, basically. Of course, you are straight angry, or you are sadly angry, you are surrendering angry, or dissatisfaction, one or the other. So every noting, every painful sensation is always associated with dosa. And if the dosa is there, how can one progress in Dhamma? Okay? What we are doing is, we are trying to uproot or abandon kilesa. Dosa is one of them. But all you're noting is every time, every moment associated with dissatisfaction, dosa. You will never, never, ever progress in terms of Dhamma. So that's a fact. You have to understand that way. If you are that type of yogi, you have to understand that way. Our job is to uproot, let's take this particular instant, to uproot dosa. But the way you are treating this pain is you are accepting dosa. Every noting or every other noting with dosa. And how can we have a growth in Dhamma? We can't. Only if we can abandon or eliminate, even momentarily, this dosa, we can grow. But to eliminate the dosa, you have to overcome this painful sensation. This painful sensation, painful feeling, in Pali is called Vedana. Vedana is just sensation and feeling. It's called dukkha vedana. Painful sensation, difficult sensation, unpleasant sensation, dukkha vedana. So all these painful things when you sit down, difficult situation on the body as well as the mind, is the dukkha vedana. And if you cannot overcome this dukkha vedana, you can never overcome your dosa. If you cannot overcome your dosa, you cannot experience the insight. Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. So one must overcome this dukkha vedana, painful sensation, painful feeling. That one we have to overcome. So that's what it is. That one, how do we do? How do we do is, this painful sensation will always be there for you or for that type of yogi. Regardless, you sit down in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's right there. Some people in 15 minutes, some people in half an hour, but still some people in 45 minutes, they come. And when they come in, first of all, you have to have understanding of what we just said, cause and effect. Only when I can overcome this painful sensation, okay, I can overcome dosa. Only when I overcome dosa, an opportunity of experiencing the insight will come one way. So you deal with it. Yeah, it is painful. But one thing was, you are a yogi who is determined, who is resolute to overcome this painful sensation. Doesn't matter, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, my whole life. You have to, if you have to fight for your whole life, this pain only, so be it. That kind of resolution. And to get that kind of resolution, you must theoretically understand the Buddha Dhamma with your own intelligence, with logic. Okay? That will give you a support to be able to go through that kind of a thing. So now there's a painful sensation arising in you. We won't describe it too much in detail. At that moment, you observed. Okay? Of course, it is easy observe. You say one word and then yogi go and observe. But it is a little easier if you can get a little guideline. Let's say the guideline is, first of all, just simply see, look at the pain. Okay? We can give the exact definition of how to observe. But let's do it on a practical level. There's a pain, look at it. First of all, just go through the form from the surface to the depth. When there's a pain, look at it. Is the pain in the skin? Okay, look. And you'll find that you can't find it in the skin. And then look at it. Is it in the flesh? Okay, flesh is underneath the skin. Try and look at it. That's all, like not superficially scanning, really. Okay. Let's say there's on your calf, there's a pain. You look at the skin area of the calf, just skin. Probe the mind, put it under the skin and look for the pain. You can't. And then you look deeper, actually physically located that flesh under the pain. Look into the flesh. Is there a pain? You won't find it. And then you go into the bone. Okay? Bone is deeper than the flesh. Look into the bone. Okay? Try and focus your mind on the bone and look for the pain. You won't be able to find it. And then even go deeper, bone marrow, look into that bone marrow. Of course, now it's becoming the mind probing with your knowledge of the anatomy and then how it is and when the pain is transmitting. Just look into the bone marrow. You can't. But what it's doing is mind is really focusing into looking for the pain in the skin, in the flesh, in the bone, in the marrow. By doing so, your mind becomes more and more concentrated. Before, the mind is not concentrated. The mind is just struggling with the pain, and the mind is quite dispersed, and the mind is knocked down by the pain, and you are struggling. Now as you just bite your tongue, and then you stare, and you stare, and you stare, and you stare. By doing so, of course, you are not doing Satipatthana or properly or this or that. All that you are doing is you are trying to really push into it, and in terms of, is it in which part of the body, my body, where the pain is, and you look and you look. By looking so, the mind becomes concentrated, and the mind becomes concentrated. And what happened was, the nature that you experience the pain start to change. That's what happened. It changes. And then you also know that it is neither here or neither there. In any part of your body, the pain is neither here or neither there. And when you have that kind of a concentration built up, you begin to experience the pain, as I said, in a different way. You're starting to see sometimes the pain is like as if poked by the needle. Like piercing pain. Sometimes you see it. Sometimes you see the pain like lightning flashes in the sky. It just flashes through. From a certain point that you can't locate, it just flashes through and then it disappears. Sometimes you feel the whole thing is numbed. You can't hear or there, but it's numb. Up to a certain point it's numb, and at other points it's not numb. And sometimes it is just grabbing and aching. Sometimes it is like a twitching and tingling. What happens is that probing into from the surface to depth build up your concentration level, and that concentration allow you to see, starting the manners of the pain, the way they present to you. And you begin to see this way because your concentration, the mind become a little stronger and a little stronger with the concentration, because you are staring into it. Staring into it as you are trying to live that moment. Okay, but in here there's a purpose. You are really looking for the pain. We are not supposed to, but I'm giving you a little bit of a shortcut. Because if you really do that, you find out your mind becomes more concentrated, and the pain, representation of the pain or perception of the stain start to change. And you begin to see all these different kind of presentation of pain. That means your concentration starting to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And when you starting to get stronger and stronger and stronger, before you are struggling with the pain, what does it mean by struggling with the pain? Pain, I hate it. Pain, I don't want it. Pain, go away. Pain, my gosh, that's what is struggling. Now is that pattern change. First of all is, instead of I hate it, I don't want it, you are probing, and suddenly you are investigating in the different representation, whether poking or aching or numbing or squeezing. That doesn't mean that discomfort, not liking, go away, but the arising of the not liking become less and less, because suddenly your interest is, oh, there's a flash, flesh. And then after about 3 times, oh, I hate it. And then poke, poke, poke. See? In other words, not every noting is associated with dosa anymore. Some are more into exactly what is happening. When you are observing what is really happening, at that moment there is no dosa. And suddenly you go back again, there's a little dosa. Doesn't matter, at least you are starting to wrestle and getting an upper hand on the pain. That's what it means by getting upper hand on the pain. In other words, your noting and your observation on the pain. There are moments and moments and becoming more and more moments without associating with dukkha vedana. That's what it is. Starting the battle now, and you are starting to get the upper hand. You look at it, and now you know, okay, you don't look into the body anymore. You look into this nature, and then you probe further, you probe further, you probe further. But still, the pain is pretty solid. Okay, pretty solid and pretty nasty. And when you start looking, and then you begin to see, the more you look, and then the next one is the shifting of the pain become more evident. First of all, just simply the nature of the pain, the presentation of the pain, and then suddenly you're looking at the calf, and suddenly the next one is in the knee, and the knees, you're looking at the knees, and the next one is suddenly switch into the back, and you're looking into the back, and suddenly it go to the neck. Shift, 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 shift. And then as soon as there's something different and new comes in, what happened? The mind, the nature of the mind is they always seek for something new. Something new is interesting. And as soon as there comes something new, the mind goes in, and the mind dwells on this new objects, new presentation. At those moments, the mind, the observing mind, is not associated with dosa, anger, or aversion. More and more, more and more noting are becoming, having less and less dosa associated with. There might be 1 dosa and 3 without dosa. And then later 1 dosa and 5 without dosa. And so on and so on. You can see the progression. And then the shifting of the pain you will see. That shows that your mind is becoming stronger and stronger with concentration. And then what you do was, you keep looking, you keep looking, you keep observing. You're getting a real good upper hand. And then when there's a pain, you look at it, and you look at it, you are still looking at it. And then it shifts into another level. That another level is, you begin to see there's a pain. You look at it, suddenly the pain comes in, the pain intensity went up, the pain intensity go down. Intensity come up, intensity go down. The shift of intensity of the pain come up and down, up and down, up and down. When you begin to sense quite clearly, then you shift into another level of concentration. And then you observe, you observe. All that you can do is observe, 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 observe. And then you started to see the actual pain, the beginning of the pain and the end of the pain. It's moment by moment. Beginning of the pain and the end of the pain. Before it's a big lump of pain. Now it's the beginning and the end, beginning, the end, beginning and the end. A series of those things, you begin to see a series of beginnings and end, beginning and end, beginning and end. At that point, you are pretty solid with your concentration on your battle with the dosa or unpleasant sensation, dukkha vedana. you can meditate quite easily without much difficulty. The pain is there, but you have the upper hand. But it is only temporary. You haven't totally overcome yet. And what happened was, only when the yogi has arrived to the Bhinga Jnana, that is the insight of the solution, only at that level you totally overcome these painful sensations. All these pains, the pain doesn't go away, the pain comes. You look at it. The moment you look at it, you don't even see the beginning anymore. As soon as you become aware, the pain is gone. As soon as you become aware, the pain is gone. All that you are seeing is passing away of the pain, passing away of the pain. So if it is only passing away of the pain, how can there be any dosa at that noting? There is no more dosa. At that moment, you have overcome. You have overcome these painful sensations. In other words, you have noted to a certain degree, to a certain period extent, without dosa. More or less, you have uprooted the dosa, but not entirely from your life psyche, but to a certain extent of time. The pain might come and dosa will not or may not arise at that moment. That's what it becomes. That is how one needs to observe. People who have that kind of a difficulty in practicing, painful sensation comes in, even though you have no parami before, but if you are resolute and if you are determined, you can overcome in this very life. I'm not saying you will get enlightened in this life. I'm saying you can overcome in this very life. In other words, the dosa that dwells with the painful sensation is being overwhelmed. It overwhelmed, and you can observe any kind of painful sensation. In other words, any kind of discomfort with ease, without any dosa. And when you have no dosa, the insight is going to come. So today, we only dealt with one type of yogi who has a difficulty, with pain and your meditation, and there's no progress, but patience and perseverance and determination, one can overwhelm that painful sensation. In a stricter sense, that yogi has overwhelmed or uprooted dosa to a certain degree of extent from that yogi's life. May all of you be able to practice Satipatthana Vipassana meditation, and may you be able to overcome dukkha vedana, unpleasant sensation, and uproot one of the mental defilements, dosa, as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddham pujemi. Dhammam pujemi. Sangham pujemi.